Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Minahi Shamim and my roll number is 3139. My topic is diagnosis of primary hyperoxaluria. First of all, we discussed what is primary hyperoxaluria. Hyperoxaluria is characterized by increased urinary excretion of oxalate. Primary hyperoxaluria is an inherited error of metabolism due to defective enzyme activity. This disease spectrum extends from recurrent kidney stones, nephrocalcinosis, deposition of calcium in kidney, and urinary tract infections to chronic kidney disease and end-stage renal disease. When calcium oxalate burden exceeds the renal excretory ability, calcium oxalate starts to deposit in other organs in a process called systemic oxalosis. जब कैल्शियम ऑक्सलेट डिपॉजिट्स in large amount फॉर्म होना शुरू हो जाए किडनी में, तो ये अदर ऑर्गन्स में एंटर हो जाते हैं और हमारे अदर ऑर्गन्स पे भी अफेक्ट करते हैं. दिस इज़ कॉल्ड सिस्टेमिक ऑक्सलोसिस. इंक्रीज्ड यूरिनरी ऑक्सलेट लेवल हेल्प टू मेक डायग्नोसिस. And if this disease remain undiagnosed, then increased urinary oxalate level help to make diagnosis, but plasma oxalate levels are likely to be more accurate. Definitive diagnosis of primary hyperoxaluria is achieved by the genetic studies, and if genetic studies prove inconclusive, liver biopsy is undertaken to establish the diagnosis. It is an autosomal recessive inherited disease. Primary oxaluria are three types: 1, 2, and 3. It is caused due to the defect in glyoxylate metabolism. Glyoxylate are not metabolized due to defective enzyme activity and causes the increased external oxalate production. Now we come to our topic. What is diagnosis of primary hyperoxaluria? Because it is a rare disease, primary hyperoxaluria can go unrecognized for several years after you experiencing symptoms. If your doctor suspects you have this disease, they will give you a thorough physical exam, evaluate your diet. Either we take large level of oxalates, look at our medical history कि हमारी फैमिली में से किसी और को इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम है या नहीं. Your doctor may also analyze the level of oxalates and metabolites in our urine, test oxalate levels in our blood, conduct analysis of your kidney stones, use imaging to check for deposits of calcium oxalate or kidney stones, conduct DNA testing to check for gene variation related to the primary hyperoxaluria. Diagnosis is crucial for preventing end-stage renal disease. अगर हमारी डिजीज़ डायग्नोज नहीं हो पाएगी तो हमारी किडनीज काम नहीं कर पाएंगी सही से, और वो ज़ाया हो सकती हैं. As we mentioned previously, a thorough family history with oxaluria test is essential in suspected cases of primary hyperoxaluria. Sediment test may provide additional information with the presence of monohydrate calcium oxalate crystals in the shape of dumbbells. If we analyze the stones, then stones are mostly formed of monohydrate calcium oxalate crystals that are in the form of dumbbells. They are distinguished from the typical dihydrate calcium diamond crystals. Mostly the crystals are dumbbell shapes. Diamond crystals are rare cases. Biochemical methods. Testing oxalate in urine is first step in diagnosing primary hyperoxaluria. Oxalates higher than the 45 mg per day, greater than 0.5 millimoles per 1.73 meter square per day in at least 224-hour urine samples is typical of primary hyperoxaluria. अगर हम एक दिन में 2 यूरिन सैंपल्स लें तो लेवल ऑफ ऑक्सलेट्स आर ग्रेटर दैन 45 mg पर डे और greater than 0.5 millimole in 1.73 meter square in a day. Samples greater than 80 to 90 mg are very suggestive of primary hyperoxaluria. Increased level of glycolate is typical of primary hyperoxaluria type 1 disease, but it has less specificity and sensitivity. It is not very specific for this disease to diagnose the disease. to diagnose the severity of the disease. Urinary glycolate value is greater than, if the value of glycolate in urine is greater than 45 mg per day, then they are very suggestive of primary hyperoxaluria type 1 disease. If there are increased level of L-glycerate in, then it means it is indicative of primary hyperoxaluria type 2. The extreme rarity of primary hyperoxaluria form means that glycerate in urine only tested in hospitals that are highly specialized in the analysis of organic acids. In infants and young children, urine collection is difficult, so we take samples in morning. As the urinary glomerular filtration rate declines as the disease remains undiagnosed, our kidney capacity reduces and its glomerular filtration rate reduces. So the urinary excretion of oxalates decreases, and by testing the urinary oxalate, we can't find the accurate results. So we may also take plasma oxalates in these circumstances. Oxalate level greater than 80 micromole per liter is suggestive of primary hyperoxaluria. If in non-primary hyperoxaluric patients, the oxalate levels range between 30 to 80 micromole per liter. Histological diagnosis: oxalate crystals in renal biopsy is indicative of primary hyperoxaluria. Renal biopsy means taking part of tissue from kidney to check the level of oxalates if they appear in sternum, but it causes the strong inflammation reactions because we remove part of tissue, and our leukocytes react and causes inflammatory reaction. So this is an invasive method, and it causes body granulomas are formed. These are the structures that produce inflammatory reaction. So this is a difficult method and invasive method and causes bleeding. In advanced cases, we can also cause bone biopsy to check this disease. The diagnosis of primary hyperoxaluria must be confirmed with the DNA analysis of the genes. AGXT gene alanine glyoxylate aminotransferase is defective in case of primary hyperoxaluria type 1. Glyoxylate hydropyruvate reductase is defective in case of PH2, and HOGA1 hydroxyoxaloglutarate aldolase may have defect if a person has primary hyperoxaluria 3, which furthermore provides information about mutation. Because एक जीन में बहुत सारी म्यूटेशन हो सकती हैं, so sometimes we can't find the mutation in genes due to less genetic studies. But this method is non-invasive and it is preferred method. But in sometimes we can't find mutation in genes. So in this case, we use enzyme diagnosis method. For patients in whom the diagnosis remains uncertain after the urinary and genetic analysis, assessment of the enzyme, AGT enzyme. This enzyme causes that metabolize the oxalates. We checked its activity in liver biopsy specimen. Two main forms of AGT deficiency are recognized. If absence of both immunoreactive and catalytic active AGT, the AGT activity may be below the detection level. हो सकता है कि AGT प्रेजेंट हो बट इसका लेवल बहुत लो हो, जो रिएक्शन को कैटालाइज ना करवा रहा हो. ये भी हो सकता है. इसकी दो कंडीशंस है. सेकंड कंडीशन ये है कि प्रेजेंस ऑफ इम्यूनोरिएक्टिव AGT बट एब्सेंस ऑफ कैटालाइटिक एक्टिविटी. ये AGT प्रेजेंट इसका लेवल है बट it is not in active form and it can catalyze the reaction. Prenatal diagnosis. Given that the enzyme AGT is only expressed in the liver, it is only present in liver, enzyme test carried out in the amniotic fluids. Prenatal diagnosis is carried out during the pregnancy to check the disease, either the growing baby has this disease or not. So in this disease we can't use the enzyme diagnosis because the enzyme we can diagnose the AGT only in liver. In this case we use the prenatal diagnosis to know the mutation if growing baby has this disease or not. This is the most useful diagnostic procedure since it makes analysis of AGXT gene, aminoglutarate aminotransferase gene possible from the amniotic fluid cells. amnion is the outermost covering that dwells the developing embryo or chorion or we take albucoils. We also diagnose the disease by the biopsy of chorionic villi. Chorion is outermost covering that protects the developing fetus. So this method is used before the birth of the child to diagnose the disease and to treat them. It is likely that these molecular techniques will become the main pH diagnostic methods, since it can be carried out with DNA from any body cell and provide less ambiguous information than determining the enzyme activity in liver biopsy. This is a very useful technique because it provides more accurate information. It can be carried out easily and provide more information. Then if the oxalates levels are very high in our body, then तो ये खतरा हो सकता है कि हम ऑक्सालेट्स हमारे बॉडीज़ के अदर ऑर्गन्स में भी एक्यूमुलेट ना हो. सो इसलिए हम चेक करने के लिए वी यूज़ रेडियोलॉजिकल इमेजिंग टू डायग्नोज. We use ultrasound to check the medullary nephrocalcinosis, means to check if there is high level of calcium in medullary part of the kidney. We use ultrasound. We use CT scan to diagnose the level of calcium in cortical part of kidney. CT scan may be helpful in the detection of calcium oxalate deposition in other organ systems also, like bowel wall, muscles and arteries. हो सकता है कि जो ऑक्सालेट लेवल हैं वो हमारे हार्ट पे भी उन्होंने असर किया हो. सो इट कैन बी डिटेक्टेड बाय इलेक्ट्रोकार्डियोग्राफी एंड इकोकार्डियोग्राफी.